Good evening, StreamYard and YouTube fans. And yes, you're right. You're saying, wait a minute. It says part two for last night's game. And you're right. When I went over the scores, believe it or not, I found out I made a mistake. It come to find out that in the 12th minute of the second period, um, Thunder Bay had a crease chance, and they scored a goal, and that made it 3-2. And the goal that they got in the final seconds tied it up at 5-5. So yes, I accidentally made a mistake, and we are going to have a an abbreviated overtime here. I'm not dealing with stamina or anything. We're just going to have an abbreviated uh, open ice 3-on-3 between Thunder Bay and Madison to see if we can get our first overtime win. Basically, I haven't won an overtime game yet. I've lost. I've lost a lot, but I have not uh, had an overtime win yet. But I went back and I thought it was only fair that we go ahead and I found out that I made a mistake. That really at the end of things it was a tie. So we're gonna do open ice 3-on-3, and we're gonna uh, basically roll 5 times. If somebody can win, then it's great. It's over. If not, it winds up in a tie. So let us go here and find. Let's go back down to the ice for this. All right, and Thunder Bay tied it up at the end of. So we go back. We're going to go back to Madison for this. All right. First chance of overtime. 16, and that is no shot. Second chance, 6. That will be a visitor on the A column. So, A column attack for Thunder Bay. +21. Attack +4 scores, and Thunder Bay, they have an attack of 8. So that will be a goal. That is going to be 2 assists. Okay, let's see who gets the goal here. The first assist will go to Vasilevich. And the second wait a minute. Okay, McCarthy's going to get the. Mess this up a little bit. McCarthy's going to get the first assist. Vasilevich will get the second assist. Camden will get the goal here. And I have to apologize. That now makes Madison 1 win, 4 losses, 1 tie, and 2 overtime losses. So once again, for the 5th game in a row, and for the second consecutive time, they tried to. Well, I shouldn't say second consecutive time, but for the second time, it was really close. They got their second overtime loss. So 5 games in a row, it's been tied or within 1 point. Hey Vince, good to see you, man. I'm here tonight actually because not because of our talk, but because I found out when I went back and checked last night's score. I checked last night's score sheet, and believe it or not, the game ended in a tie. I missed a goal, and so it wound up in a 5-5 tie. And I had to come back on and see if Madison could win the game or not, and they lost. So for the 5th straight time, very close, but they couldn't eke out a win. Yeah, yeah. Oh wow is exactly right. Because guys, it was my blunder. I made the mistake. I didn't realize until after I was calculating my stats that I made a mistake. And hey, yes, I did. As a matter of fact, give me a second. I wanted to show you something. Give me a second. Yeah. Here is the printed. Here's the printed fast drive football commissioner, and this is the most up to date one. This is version 1.4, and I'm when I when I do this with you next week, I'm gonna we're gonna go over it from the beginning of character creation, and I want to be. It might take us. I don't know if it's going to take us 2 episodes or not, but I want to do this for about an hour. See how much of it we can get through in an hour, and if we have to finish it up a different time, that's fine. Um, and I I can go over the off season because I do have the off season stuff in here. It is in there. You're talking. This is like this is almost 50 pages. This is 50 pages of stuff. Yeah. And really, if you're into fantasy football, like I am in that I'm the type of person that every year, rather than you know, kind of adding to or that to last year type thing. I'm the kind of person that I prefer to kind of recreate everything. Even if you use the same names, you start over from basically from team creation. Uh, Basically, none of your stats carry over from one season to the next. I only think that's fair because otherwise you could have one team that's always on top because they have in the top they have the all the good stats, so to speak. Yeah, and if you look really closely in my video, I added two of the links. One was his very first eight player creation. The other one was his season three. Uh, season three uh, continuation of the league type thing. Yes, I do plan on it. I think I will probably have a couple teams carry over from my past um, league. I mean, Steve Tower was the Super Bowl champion in my league, so I got to have the Vegas Gamers. That's on him, and I got to have Sean D's French Tricycles because he was the runner-up, and then the other one that I'm going to continue on with is Chris Strat Lower Slower Board Gamers, the Istanbul Camels. Those are the three teams that I'm going to carry over. And then the other teams will be, and of course, my Crusaders. I don't know if I had the Crusaders or the Kentucky Legends, but either way, I'll figure that one out, and we'll basically create 4 or 5 teams from scratch. Yeah, and the thing is um, I not only had coaches, but I had owners as well. Like I think with my Kentucky Crusaders or my Lexington Legends, I was like the owner, and my daughter was the head coach. Something different in that. Uh, if I was going to do a Boston team, like the Boston Colonials or something like that, I'd have Al, Red Sox fan, as the owner, and I might have Ron as the coach, head coach type thing. You know, kind of spoof on football and football coaches and stuff. And I also did this, um, and that's I printed out and laminated the charts for Fast Drive Football. These are the 2.0 Pro Edition charts. You've got your drive results, front and back. You've got your kicking and punting. You've got your unusual and your game reference, and then the last chart you got is the weather conditions. Yeah, that's the one with the weather chart. And I think it's neat because it adds kind of a touch of history maker baseball to it. It gives it a little history maker baseball feel to it. I mean, it doesn't really come into, at least I don't see it much. I mean, it doesn't come into play a lot really in history maker baseball a lot. At least I haven't seen it, but it does and it can happen, and that's the thing with sports. It does and it can happen. Just like tonight, I made a mistake. When I went and tallied, I found out I made a mistake. I had to come on here and rectify things. Appa Brian of the Kansas. I don't know if Brian would like that. He might like the Kansas City Arrowheads or something like that. But I don't know if he'd like that. And in all honesty, Vince, it might be because of the XFL. You might want to make it the Kansas City Renegades. You know. Oh, and just so you know, yeah, Kansas. Uh, wasn't the Kansas City Athletics? Uh, weren't they a baseball team that went to Oakland eventually? They were from Philadelphia. They went to Kansas City. I think they went to Oakland, and Oakland is getting ready to go to Vegas. So yeah, um, but I'm looking forward to it. And basically, just so you know, um, when you look at your commissioner packet, I don't know if you looked at it or not, but you're basically starting on page 4. You're basically starting on page 4 where it says create create a new league. That's the page that we'll be starting on. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be neat. Um, I'm I'm thinking as far as teams go, I'm thinking kind of like I did last year, where four teams will be U.S. teams, and four teams will be international teams, is what I call them. And I really haven't fleshed it out, but I'm thinking Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, uh, Louisville or Lexington, and then the fourth one would be in Chicago or Detroit type thing. And I'm gonna have like the French tricycles. I'm gonna have we'll see, but I kind of still want to keep Steve Tower in the in it. Um, well, the one thing that I thought of, I mean, yeah, you could use the Steelers and that, but the idea of pipe fitters or Pittsburgh welders or something like that, where it's something working with steel, even though it might not say Steelers type thing. Um, and with Kentucky, you're going to have like bluegrass, horses, um, things like that. If you're going down to Florida, you're going to have gators. You're going to have things with magic in it because of Disney and stuff like that. Um, Heat, because you got the Miami Heat down there and basketball. Uh, you could have you could make a team the Florida Panthers or something, Panthers, because of the hockey team that had a great game last night. 4 OTs, and the Panthers won in 4 overtimes, and I think it was like they had like about they were 4 minutes into the fourth period when the Panthers won last night, and that was really good. But I am looking forward. Yinzer, Pittsburgh Yinzer. I never heard of that one. That's a new one on me, Vince. Uh, but one of the teams that I might want to do is kind of like wherever you're from. I don't know where you're from in that. Um, Whether that's say Virginia or North Carolina or something like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm still planning. Oh, you're from Pittsburgh. Okay. Um, but yeah, like I said, pipe fitters, welders, something like that. That's always good for Pittsburgh. Um, uh, Pirates is good too, but that's baseball, you know. Um, and I just really got on here tonight because I was looking, like I said, I went back and I looked at my score sheets. Uh, I looked at my score sheets, and I found out that the score that I had, where the Madison Mad Dogs won, wasn't the case. It wound up in a tie, so I had to come back on here and make things right. Right. Uh, and all I can say, guys, is we tried, but to no avail. Um, we tried to win, but to no avail. So that makes 5 consecutive games where we were either tied or by one. So and we've got 42 games. That was game 8, and it's going to be a long season. And the Dayton Bombers only won 7, and it was like they won a lot early, and then they went through a stretch where they didn't win until like the 23rd game of the season. Yeah, Green Bay. Yeah, and I was thinking of that too. The idea of the Green Bay Swiss cheese or something like that, or yeah, the Green Bay Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its. I like that. The Green Bay Cheez-Its. you know, snack after Green Bay. But I will see you next Thursday around 7 o'clock, and uh, I'm pretty much ready to go. I've got my sheets in that. I will. I was in the midst of. I was in the midst of going over my stats and handwriting my stats and stuff when I realized I made a mistake, and so I had to get on here and correct it. So thanks for showing up again, Vince, and that, and I'm looking forward to next week. And I'm probably going to do a practice run through uh, the league creation this weekend, just to get prepared and get ready. And uh, that'll help me probably flesh out what kind of team names that I want to do. But we'll see. Uh, this is Philip Reynolds signing off. This one's a wrap. Thanks for Ben for showing up. Next week we'll have some fast drive football player creation. I will not be on. I might be on tomorrow, but I won't be on next week until at least Thursday because we've got revival at church. And Vince, you have a good weekend. Take a look at your player creation type stuff and do a practice run of it as much as you can. And we'll talk on Thursday, and we'll see what kind of questions you have, and we'll air it out, so to speak. So take care, guys. Have a good night.